A very good morning, students. Our session of auditing and corporate governance. As far as our previous session was concerned, in that we have started our new unit, that is unit number 3. It is about company audit. In that we have seen about the introduction of company auditor, then after the qualification of an auditor and disqualification of an auditor. And also we have seen the two types of appointment, that was first appointment and appointment every year. So today's session we are going to start with the third type of appointment, that is reappointment of retiring auditor. Yes, as we all know that auditor is going to appoint by different authorities every year. So the time period, the working period of any auditor is hardly about 1 year. So in each and every financial year, in the AGM, the auditor, the new auditor or the present auditor will be reappointed by shareholders. Now sometimes it is possible that you are not going to appoint your retiring auditor. Retiring auditor, it is not about the age. If he is 60, then he will be known as retired auditor. It is not like that. Retiring auditor means the auditor whose time period is going to be finished. So in such situation, board of director and the shareholders or any government officials are not going to reappoint the retiring auditor if the auditor is not qualified, or sometimes it is possible that auditor is not able to give his 100% at the time of auditing. Then after, it is a choice of auditor, that is he do not want to continue with the organization. So auditor is going to give in a written about his unwillingness to be reappointed. At that time, company is not going to reappoint the retiring auditor, but there is the appointment of new auditor. Sometimes there is a resolution which is passed in the AGM that insufficiency of auditor at the time of auditing process. If auditor is not able to prove himself, then definitely he is not eligible for the reappointment. So these are the situation that when we are not going to reappoint our retiring auditor, and it is possible that if the auditor met with any accident and physically if he is not possible to carry the work of audit, then the reasons of his death, at that time company is going to appoint the new auditor in his annual general meeting. Then after, the fourth point, that is appointment by the central government. Yes, if we are talking about AG office, so in account and general office, the auditor is going to be appointed by central government officials. First and foremostly, they need to pass the government examinations, and then after they are eligible to work as an auditor. So the auditor of any government officials will be appointed by central government only. Then after, fifth point, appointment to fill casual vacancy. When there is any casual vacancy is a situation when the work of auditing will be excess, or sometimes when auditor left the organization between the two financial year. So at that time there will be the vacancy for an auditor. So in that case, board of director will appoint auditor to fill the casual vacancy, because it is not possible from the side of shareholders, because it is very difficult for the organization to call each and every shareholders and they are going to conduct any meeting, and in meeting they are going to appoint auditor. It is very time consuming process. So as far as the casual vacancy is concerned, they are going to appoint the auditor by the board of directors. The next appointment, that is the appointment of auditor of government companies. Again, in AG office, that is account and general office, the auditor will be appointed by central government themselves. And the last one, that is appointment by a special resolution. When there are few situations or there are few organizations in which it is very difficult for board of directors and for shareholders to appoint the company auditor, at that time, in this case, in this special case, the organization is going to pass one amendment where not less than 25% of subscribed share capital is going to be held. At that time, the auditor will be appointed by passing a special resolution. Now, there are few institutions in which they are going to appoint auditor by passing the special resolution, and they are a public financial institution, a government company, then after any state or central government organization, then after any nationalized bank, any insurance company, or any financial corporation in which the state government holds not less than 51% of the subscribed share capital. So in short, when a company in which not less than 25% of the subscribed share capital is held, so this company is going to appoint an auditor by passing a special resolution. So it's all about the appointment of an auditor. Again, we are going to repeat or a short revision of appointment and reappointment of our auditor. First appointment is done by board of director. Appointment every year, it is done by the shareholders. Reappointment of retiring auditor, it is done in annual general meeting by shareholders. Then after appointment by central government. So in that, when board of director and shareholder fails to appoint the auditor in AGM, at that time central government will appoint auditor for that organization. Then after, appointment to fill the casual vacancy. It is done by the board of directors. The next one, appointment of auditor of government company. So that will be done by the central government. So that's about appointment of an auditor. Now the next point. The next one is about removal of auditor. Yes, when BOD and shareholders and central government have right for the appointment of auditor, in the same way they have a right for the removal of the auditor. And the auditor can be removed by two different ways. The first one, that is before the expiry of his term, that is before the expiry of auditor terms. Okay, sometimes when the auditor is appointed by the BOD, in the first appointment, when board of director appoints the auditor, so that auditor can be removed by the shareholders. Again, I am repeating myself. Shareholders are going to remove the auditor who is appointed by board of directors in the annual general meeting. If the working style, the working method of auditor is not satisfactory in the mind of shareholders, then shareholders have a total right to remove the auditor who is appointed by the board of directors before expiry of his term. So before AGM, shareholders can easily remove the auditor. And again, shareholders have a right to give the proposal of new auditor, the nominations of new auditor with a special notice within 14 days before the meeting will be held. And for these reasons, for the removal before the expiry of auditor's term, the permission of central government is not required. The shareholders have total right to remove their auditor with a short notice, and there will be no interference of government in their decision. Now the next one. The second situation, before the expiry of auditor's term. The auditor can be removed before the expiry of his term only by the company in general meeting, but the previous approval of central government must be required. So when the company want to remove the auditor before the expiry of his term, so at that point of time the approval of central government is required, because in this case there is no interference of shareholders. When the management, when the company, they have the personal conflict with the auditor, if they both are not comfortable with each other, when the organization and the auditor, they both are not comfortable with each other, so at that time company wants to remove the auditor before the expiry of his term. So in this point of time, the prior approval of central government is required. The main reason behind it is that basically company does not have any right to remove auditor before his term, because they have only a single right for the appointment of first auditor. Later on, each and every decision about the removal and the appointment of new auditor or the reappointment of the retiring auditor, that will be in the hand of shareholders. So when shareholders are not there, they are not in the picture at the time of removal of the auditor, so a prior permission of central government must be required. So this is the first condition. Now second condition, that is on the expiry of his term. Yes, when the term of auditor is expired, so he will be removed by the company at the time of expiry of his term. And in the second situation, on the expiry of his term, the management, they are not going to reappoint the retiring auditor. So definitely the retiring auditor will be removed by the company at the time of expiry of his term. So it is really very easy one when you are going to remove your auditor on the expiry of their term. But if the auditor will be removed before the expiry of his term, at that time the permission of central government is required if it is done by the management, and the permission of central government is not required if he is removed by the shareholders. So that's about the removal of auditor. So this is about the removal of auditor. In the next session, we'll discuss about auditor's remuneration and the next points. I hope it is clear to you.